All right. What's up, everybody? This is episode 3 of the Real Chat Podcast. And I got my man, Michael Thomas, Pastor Michael Thomas, with me. I thought it would be a great time, the day after Thanksgiving to go ahead and jump into this and show what the real pillars of the community are doing, and reach out and get their story. So with that, I want to introduce you to Pastor Michael Thomas.
Thank you so much, sir.
Definitely. So, we'll jump right into it. I want to jump in there and just ask, man, like where, what brought you to Sheboygan?
Well, I was a pastor in Milwaukee. I started House of Saints Church down in Milwaukee, and I felt called to start a church in Sheboygan as well. I knew that there wasn't a service that offered what I particularly offer and serve the community that I particularly serve. And so I wanted to have a service here in Sheboygan. My intentions weren't to move back to Sheboygan at first, but God orchestrated some things and connected me with some people, and I ended up deciding to move back to Sheboygan and establish a church here. And so
That's
I
what's
started
up.
the House of Saints Church in 2018 when we first moved back, and I led that church and congregation until Hope Community Church reached out and asked me to become their new head pastor, and ended up accepting. And so I've been the pastor here for a little over 3 years now.
Man, that's what's up. So, tell us a little bit. Who are you, man, as a person? Like, I mean, who are you?
Absolutely. Well, I would say who I am is a man that is a follower of God. That's my number one priority in life, is just living to honor and serve Him. I'm not perfect, but that is my intentions always, is to bring Him glory and help build His kingdom. I'm a family man. I have a wife.
Yes, sir.
We have 3 daughters, and they're my world. I just love to be around them and love on them and be loved by them.
I mean, outside of that, you're a coach, right? So
I'm a coach.
So, I mean, what y'all want to hear that? I mean, this the coach right here. So
For sure.
what is it you a coach in?
Well, I've coached basketball for over 10, 11 years. I started off coaching first grade girls basketball and made it all the way to college, and I coached college men basketball. But recently, just this year, I also started coaching boxing. I started my own boxing gym. I have a number of different boxers that are a part of our club. I just became a sanctioned USA boxing coach, which I'm really proud of. And yes, soon we'll have the boxing gym be officially USA sanctioned. So I coach a lot of things. Coach people, coach sports.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Like, so that's what's up. By the way, my son, he is one of the members of his gym, and I mean, I get to watch these boys spar, and if you check out some of the videos that I post on Facebook, you'll start to get to see some highlights of these kids. These kids are really, really motivated, and they are very inspiring. I watch these kids interact with each other, and they definitely they got it. So
for sure,
definitely. So
shout out to Sarah and all the Midwest boxing champions.
Yes. So get that name again, Midwest Boxing Champions. So if you're in the Sheboygan area, check them out, Michael Thomas. I mean, it's a great program, and I want to see it grow. I want to watch it grow. So and I actually, come to take my son here, and I want to be able to participate in that and be able to help with that. So, can you tell us a little bit about some of the things you do in the community?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm a man of many hats. So I'm a police chaplain. I've been doing that for a little over 2 years, I believe. I started a pantry here at our church, and the pantry has grown to a place where now we feed over 1,200 people a month. Our
Wow.
pantry is
Wow.
a lot different than all the other pantries. We actually deliver to people. I
Wow.
recognized a gap a few years ago. People that didn't have transportation couldn't necessarily always get to the food pantries.
Mhm.
So what I used to do is rent U-Hauls every single week
Okay.
and just fill them up with food and drive to low income housing, elderly apartment complexes, the people that are most in need, and deliver the food to them.
They can't come get it themselves.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And so as I started doing that, the pantry has just grown. We've accumulated a number of different partners from the food bank to grocery stores and other pantries. Uh, and so yeah, man, we're just trying to help those that really are in need and don't have the means, the transportation
Right.
to get the
Wherewithal to get
access
it
of
on.
yeah, no
Man,
doubt.
I like that. I really dig that, because it's, I had the opportunity when I came in today to be able to see, the secretary of the church. He was here, being able to get things prepared and get stuff ready. So, I mean,
Mhm.
this is going on while we're here. So
For
we're
sure.
taking the time out to be able to, I'm getting a chance to interview my man, and it's constant pieces moving, getting ready to
Mhm.
send this food out to the community, man. That's a
Right.
that's a blessing, man.
Volunteers in the background,
Definitely.
loaded up so that we own our own truck now. After years
I
of
see that.
renting U-Hauls, we were blessed and fortunate to be able to purchase our own truck so that we can disperse the food. And I'm hoping that in time, with maybe some more support and means coming in, that we'll begin to feed 2,000 people because I know that the need is real.
Yeah.
And there's low income apartment complexes and elderly apartment complexes that we're not even going to yet just because we're not able to, we don't have the means to get
To expand for that yet.
everywhere.
So
Yeah.
again, that's one of the shout outs I want to talk about. Any community help that can support with this movement and be able to get this thing rolling. So that's like, what's your 2 year goal? Like, you got any goals for the next 2 years? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a great group of volunteers and staff that put in the work to help this happen every single week.
mhm,
But I would love it if more people would come on board and help us be able to expand, so we can reach the goal of serving over 2,000 people in the community. I definitely want to continue to evangelize and bring people
mhm,
into the church and building them up. One of my passions is just seeing the growth in other people's lives, see their lives be transformed and they become successful and joyful. Their relationships are growing not only with God, but with their family members.
mhm.
And yeah, so love to see transformation in people. And so I just want to build up more future leaders so that they can pour into other people.
Okay.
And yeah, I want another goal, the boxing gym to be
Yes,
known. And
be able to get recognized with that. I mean, it's a fighting pastor. I mean, so I mean, I had the opportunity to watch one of the guys training the other day, and you put on the pads and got out
mhm.
there, and I said, man, like I watched this video over and over. I love it. I love it. Him just being active with the students that he's teaching, and it's a good relationship. As I watched this guy, he's running out of breath and he's ready to sit down, and the students just keep on going on him. So
Yeah.
had to give him a little stop real quick. So
That's great.
so yeah, I definitely, man. So how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh man, it was great. We went to Milwaukee, and I got to visit my aunt and my dad and my little brothers.
Nice.
One of my brothers just got baptized last weekend,
Mhm.
so it was great to get to see him and connect with him. And yeah, we ate some
Nice.
delicious food, man.
Yeah, I think when I came in, he was taking care of the leftovers for breakfast.
For
So I
sure.
mean, I
I like
had
hot sauce on my greens. Some
so
Cornish hen.
yes.
Yeah, some dressing. I'd
I,
bring it back.
I was up probably about 4:30 this morning. I wanted to post I'm trying to get into the habit of posting these weekly motivational, inspirational quotes, so I put them on
Mhm.
Facebook, Instagram, and I try to do it by midnight, and sometimes I see my man be the first one on there, liking it. So, I try to get those out, and I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it right when I got home yesterday because I was so, I was still trying to work off that Thanksgiving dinner. I had the opportunity to go with my lady and her family to Wapaka, and we spent it out there. So,
Okay.
I didn't get to get my little ones because it was a conflict of dinner times, so
Sure.
but I'm gonna go get them today. But yeah, so I tried to get that quote out. So I was up this morning early, eating the leftovers as well. So
Mhm. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't mad at you, brother.
definitely, that's the good thing about Thanksgiving, y'all. We get to have a week's worth of pre-made meals already.
For sure. We're staying thankful.
That's right. Stay blessed,
For sure.
So.
Amen.
But yeah, so I mean, what are some of the other activities you participate in, out here? I mean, other than just the food and I mean, so you say you work with the police department, so
Mhm.
you show up and you know uh get to pray over someone that's in need, or
Absolutely. So with that role, I can go on a ride along, and connect with people in the community as the police officers go on different
Mhm,
calls. I have gone to do death notifications,
mhm,
which is a difficult thing when you're going to have a conversation with somebody and share with them the devastating news
mhm.
that a loved one of theirs has passed. It's not an easy thing.
Never is, never.
Sometimes you go to the scene of an accident, and there's people's bodies still laid up in the house or laid up in the car, and I mean it can be traumatizing, and it's really difficult. In fact, when I first became a police chaplain down in Milwaukee,
Mhm.
I had only been a chaplain for maybe 3 weeks,
Okay.
and I was on my way to the police station to do a ride along, and a car comes zooming past me. I had to be going like 70, 80
Wow.
miles per hour, and the speed limit is 35. Like, and so it like shocked me because it's just so woo. And and I'm like, whoa, this guy is crazy. That was like my first thought. I was like, man, this guy is a nut. And so moments later, this car loses control and crashes right in front of me. It
Mhm.
rolls multiple
Oh
times,
wow.
and until I arrive on the scene, that's when I discovered there were two children on
Mhm.
the inside of the car, and they had flew out of the windows as the car rolled, and one of the children was a little girl, about age 3,
Wow.
and at that time, one of my daughters was right around the same age, and after witnessing her lose her life and her brother just barely surviving, I decided that I didn't want to stand around and not do anything
Mhm.
and just witness this type of stuff. I wanted to try to help create change, and so that's when I came up with Drive Safe Wisconsin and the
Okay.
walk for responsible driving.
Mhm.
So I started the walk for responsible driving. We've done multiple walks throughout the years. In fact, I'm hoping next year I can lead the 5th annual walk for responsible driving. I kind of put it on the back burner
Mhm.
over the last few years because of COVID.
Okay.
I didn't want a bunch of people coming together when COVID was
Right. Right.
happening in
Yeah.
the midst.
Yes.
And then there was a lot of social unrest back in like 2020, with
Mhm. Yep.
George Floyd incident. And that led me to create the Black American Community Outreach nonprofit.
Okay.
That was another nonprofit that I started. But with all these different things that, took up my time, I put Drive Safe Wisconsin on the back burner, and I've recently been feeling led to um, re-establish that walk
Yeah,
and
that's
get that
something I
going.
think needs to be reestablished. I mean, I mean, just driving around here, I'm amazed at how bad driving is around here.
Sure.
They're using lanes that aren't lanes and
Hmm.
bike lanes, and they want to turn in them. it gives me a headache every time I got to drop my kid off at school, man. I go to drop him off, and I'm like, oh man, you got to start catching the bus. I told him, I said, we got to get you on that bus, but you got to be responsible enough though to get on that bus though.
No doubt. I mean,
make sure he's coming home.
Irresponsible driving affects everyone, old, young, rich, poor, black, white, whatever. We've all witnessed it, experienced it, participated in it ourselves at one point. But the whole movement, Drive Safe Wisconsin, is really to just get people to be more conscientious when they get behind the wheel, more considerate, because if we are driving in these streets with some intentionality, we can look out for one another, we can protect one another, and we can see more lives saved by.
And that's the biggest thing. We want to see you go home. Right. I want to make it home. I want to be able to know that I'm going to make it safely back to my family without getting hit because someone don't stop at a stop sign or somebody's in too much of a rush. I think, one thing my girl always says, you should have left sooner. Sure. She always says, they go flying by like, oh, you in a rush, you should have left sooner. Which makes sense, and so definitely we want to be able to reach out and get some of these resources to help my man, get that program back on track,
Absolutely.
So definitely if anybody has anything that they want to reach out, my email is coachjackson408@gmail.com. If there's any solutions, anything that you can add value to getting this thing going again, go ahead, reach out to me. Again, this is the Real Chat Podcast, so it's not edited. And as you can see, our screen went off behind us. I was trying to keep the logo going. So, and I want to mention that I want to be, again, this is Real Chat Podcast, and my man said he's a family man. So, you might want to check that. I know you told me earlier, that your wife, is on call. So she you might have to dip out.
I think if it was her, she would have called me back a couple more times.
Would have kept calling.
Right. Yeah. So that wasn't her. I know her. She be on me.
That's right. I got that call the other day. My lady called, and I think I might have been in a meeting talking to you, and she called. And she called again, then she called again, then she sent the text message. It was like, if I'm calling you more times than one, then it's important, And next time that call came, I had to tell my man, I said, I'm out of here. I got to go. I said, I'm out. We was deep in a good conversation. And, I always enjoy sitting down, talking to my man. It's always good conversation, good dialogue. And, but yeah, man, before we get ready to get up out of here, man, so you got your goals for the future,
yes.
And this is a major player in the community. And I've been doing a lot of certified peer specialist training and trying to get that going. And I definitely want to donate more of my time, man, to help you out and see this through. So did you get a chance to check up on that name?
What's your name?
When you was looking up on the name, because my man got my man. We putting something together very special. We trying to get this podcast going.
Absolutely, yeah. So I did Google the name Favored by God Pod. It's a podcast that I would like to start, and nobody else has that title as far as I can see. And so I'm hoping that in the next few weeks that we could start the Favored by God Pod, and yeah, maybe I can put out stuff on a regular basis.
Yes.
Even the title talks about being favored by God. It won't just be a podcast where we speak exclusively about the things of God. We'll talk about everything that's going on in the world, sports, politics, everything.
Reaching out, being able to reach a wider audience, bigger variety of audiences.
For sure.
Because this is something that kind of speaks to everybody.
Right.
So I really appreciate that. I like that.
Yeah, and I recognize myself as being favored by God. I'm hoping the podcast to be favored, and everybody that gets tuned in is blessed and feel as though they're favored by God as well. So I think that'll be a perfect title for it.
Nice, man, definitely, man. So I can't wait to see that coming out
for sure.
So that's gonna be something that's going to be big. That's going to be real big. So, but I want to say, man, I appreciate having you on here.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you supporting me and my goals in trying to get this podcast going and making something out of it. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
so
It's an honor.
I really appreciate you, man, believing in me and you know, taking the time out of your day to sit down with me. So
Well, I thank you for the privilege of being one of your guests. And anytime that you call on me or in need, don't hesitate, and I'll do my best to accommodate.
definitely, brother, I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. God bless you.
Well, I want to tell y'all, you know, thank you for chiming in to episode 3. I know I wasn't in last week, and I apologize about that. We weren't able to do the podcast last week. We had a lot of things going on within the household, but definitely chime in tomorrow. We're gonna be having this popping at 10 a.m. So you'll see it when it comes out. Other than that, y'all stay tuned because we got more coming.
God bless.